Hello everyone, and welcome back. I am Quietly, and today we're going to be finishing up 2.3 in the post-ARR patches. We have about 4 or 5 quests to go for this, and then we're going into the 2.4 patches, and then we'll be pretty close to the end of the post-ARR stuff at that point, because the post-ARR stuff goes 2.4, 2.5, and then 2.55, and then we go into Heavensward, which I'm super excited about re-entering. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump right in. Now the matter of Ramu has, for the present, been put to rest. There is something I would show you quietly. It is a letter of thanks, signed by the leaders of the Eorzean Alliance, acknowledging the Scion's tireless service to the realm. It mentions in particular the names of all of the defeated primals: Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, Good King Mughulmog the 12th, Leviathan, and now Ramu. Needless to say, there are only one among our numbers to have faced them all. And though these words of gratitude were addressed to our order as a whole, I feel that they were meant for you above all others. I, too, must offer my heartfelt thanks for all you have done. In the course of our duties, you have never once failed to address my call to arms. You are a true hero, Quietly, and Eorzea is that much the safer with your presence. And Pulse was gonna do it if I didn't do it. I'm just saying. Pray, do not misunderstand me. I said safer, not safe. I know only too well that we can ill afford to lower our guard. The Ascians may be relied upon to sow chaos in this realm until such time as they are forced to stop. Why, even without their encouragement, you may be assured that man would foment strife on his own accord, and that is to say nothing of the beast tribes. Unless we learn to live in harmony, the primals too will return to plague us again and again and again. And yet, despite all of this, your deeds serve to inspire the people, to give them hope for a better tomorrow, and there is no greater gift. That we have the courage to strive for what might otherwise seem an impossible peace, we owe in no small part to the dangers you have faced on our behalf, and the people who have you have won over to our cause in doing so. Our list of enemies has ever been long, but think of the allies with whom we are now blessed. Of the sylphs of Little Solace, who wish naught of conflict. Of the Almegans and the Domans who stand with us, determined to halt the dread march of the Empire. And then there is Sid and the Fellowship of Noah, racing to unlock the mysteries of the ancient Alag, that we might be spared the horror of another Ultima weapon. Of course, when speaking of our great allies, we must not forget those closest to us, by which I mean our fellow Scions. Thanks to their many and varied talents, our order is uniquely equipped to combat the far-reaching corruption of the Ascians. And combat it we shall. Your enthusiasm is truly heartwarming antecedent. Given our embarrassing wealth of allies, I trust it will not inconvenience you unduly if I absent myself for a time. Oh, Alphino. Alphino, I take it the troubles in Ul'dah no longer require your attention. There are yet some rumblings of discontent, but the air of simmering violence is largely dissipated. 'Tis to report such that I stand before you now, and that I that and to speak with you concerning the new organization we discussed. Ah, I have a message for you from Elle. You recall the refugee girl, the one whose parents were missing. They were found unharmed. She wished me to pass on her thanks to you. Why, Alphino, am I to understand that you made the effort to remember the poor girl's name? I look forward to reading all about her in your report. I do hope you left nothing out. Quietly, you have been away from Revenant's Toll for some time now, I believe. Might I suggest that you put the affairs of the realm to one side for a moment and take this opportunity to reacquaint yourself with the town? Which reminds me, one of the Doman children recently inquired as to your whereabouts. Eozen was his name. I believe he has some small matter he wishes to share with you. Why not oblige him with a visit? Sure, I like Yozen. He's the little kid that was asking all the questions, right? What's his face's son? Sure, let's go. Oh. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Where is this kid? Oh. Is he in here? Oh. Is he in the Rising Stones? He's like full ready to go on out. Ah, he is here. Yozen, look at all the little kids. Look! It's Miss Quietly. She's back from her adventures. We heard you were off fighting primals and that they're some of the strongest enemies you could ever face. I wish I could have seen you in battle. Anyways, we all want to be heroes too, so we finally formed our very own Doman Adventurers Guild to protect all the Domans. Oh, do you think you could train us today, Miss Quietly? Maybe you could show us how you fought the primals. What's all this commotion then? Mr. Boulder and Mr. Countenant, did you know that Miss Quietly is back? So it would seem. Welcome, Quietly. My companion and I but recently became full members of the Scions, and I believe proper introductions have yet to be made. I am known as Hoary Boulder, and this bookish fellow is Countenant. Blah 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 blah. Though we remain largely unproven as adventurers, we have taken it upon ourselves to instruct the Doman younglings in the art of combat. Like I told you, Mr. Boulder, we are not younglings anymore. We are adventurers. And we are just asking Miss Quietly if she would give us some special training. I think we're ready to hunt monsters alongside her, don't you? Well, you've certainly been diligent with your drills, but I'm afraid the fiends of Mordana are still ever so slightly too dangerous for you. I have a counter-proposal. What if I were to cross swords with Quietly? A demonstration of skill at arms, if you will. Hori, if I didn't know better, and I do, I'd say you were merely seeking to test yourself against a legend. Well, mayhaps I am, but what matters the motive when the children stand to learn as so much from the lesson? What say you, Quietly? Would you be content to spar with me? Sure. Why not? Hurrah! We're to have a tournament. Come on, everyone. We must prepare our gear for the outing. For an outing. Do try not to disappoint them, Have faith, cool Lynette. I shall summon every ounce of my strength to make this a worthy contest. The field of the east of town should prove suitable for our purpose. I very much look forward to our bout. Okay. Nice. We're gonna have a little fisticuff with some friends. Boom, 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 boom. We fought people over here before. Nice. Okay. 'Twas good of you to agree to this quietly. I trust you're ready to begin. I'm ready. Very well. Let us not keep these younglings waiting any longer. Hori, are you certain you wish to fight her alone? This is quietly you face. What better way to test my mettle? Pray allow me to attempt the first round unaided. After all, 'twas this hero's legend that led me to join the Scions to begin with. Without quietly to inspire my efforts, I would not be half the warrior I am today. That's touching. Your point is well made. But remember, this is for the children's sake as well as your own. Should it appear the contest will end too swiftly, I shall add my spells to your blade work. Hello? You haven't begun yet, have you? Look at all the science that's showing up. Yaida, what? Who are all these people? When I heard about your sparring match, I told everyone I could find. Thought you could use a crowd to cheer you on. Yes, and there was still more to come. When I mentioned Quietly's name, the reaction was quite enthusiastic. Why, my own popularity seems but a sickly shade in comparison. You'd best claim victory, Bringer of Light. Your burgeoning reputation is at stake. Well, our teacher won't be beaten so easily. He's a master swordsman. You can win, Mr. Boulder. We shall soon see. On your guard. Oh. Ugh, such power. The tails barely do you justice. Mr. Boulder won't lose, will he? Not over yet. It can't be. Aye, the children have the right of it. 'Tis time I join the fray. On your feet, Hori. Oh no! He looks hurt! Miss Quietly is so strong, but you can't give up, Mr. Boulder. Can't disappoint the younglings. Arrgh. You, yes, you bested me. Huff, I yield. Gasp. That was incredible. She beat them both at the same time. We knew you couldn't lose quietly. None can defeat the Guardian of Eorzea. Now I see why they send you to deal with the primals. I've much work to do if I'm ever to attempt the same. Do. Aww. Impressive as always, quietly. 'Tis ever a pleasure to witness the spectacle of your martial prowess. And, judging by the smiles on these many faces, they too appreciate the hard-won strength that keeps the perils of the realm at bay. Guardian of Eorzea. Yes, that is the most fitting title. Do you recall when we first met? 'Twas at the memorial service for the Battle of Carteneau. No, it wasn't. At the time, I was yet attempting to understand this land of Eorzea. I sought to grasp the reason why Grandfather willingly sacrificed himself to protect it. I shall speak plainly. My initial impressions were less than favorable. Dire problems abounded, and yet the effort I saw expended towards their solution was haphazard and half-hearted. I thought Eorzea a foolish and childish people. Considering the shambles of their home was in, I would not have been surprised if some had chosen to wear allegiance to Gaius and the order he proposed to enforce. The legatus' single-minded military invasion precluded any such switching of loyalties, of course. Were it not for a desire to continue Grandfather's legacy, I would have abandoned the realm to its fate long ago. The threats were too many, the nation too self-involved and unstable. 'Twas you who convinced me the salvation of Eorzea was possible. 'Twas you who taught me, through countless acts of bravery, that what my grandsire sought to preserve was not the land, nor its history, nor any single nation. It was the people. These wonderful, oft infuriating, stubborn people that suffer blow after terrible blow only to drag themselves back to their feet to face another day. Though he never put such feelings into words, I believe Grandfather's admiration for this inextinguishable courage grew into a fervent wish, a wish to aid Eorzea and its inhabitants in charting a course for the future. A wish that has now become my own. I, too, will endeavor to take up the mantle of Guardian of Eorzea and champion these people who toil towards a better world. Our cause, however, is not a simple one. The troubles that plague us are of a scale that cannot be solved by the scions of the Seventh Dawn alone. No, what is needed to tackle the root of the primal threat and effectively counter the schemes of the Ascians is a new, expanded organization that operates beyond the limitations of nations and borders. If you would aid me in building such an organization, then pray let us continue this discussion back within the walls of the Rising Stones. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, Alpha no. Ah, there you are. I am ready to ascend to the bridge and speak with Admiral Blofiswen. Though the Admiral and I are finalizing missionary boundaries and signing parchments, I would have you begin the recruitment process in earnest. I have, of course, endeavored to spread the word of our organization through various channels, but I believe a personal approach will reach many who may otherwise remain ignorant of the opportunity. As for the potential members, 'tis of no matter should they already be pledged to another institution, only that they are willing to lend their strength when situation demands it, and you needn't rage into the countryside. The upper decks alone are populated with sufficient candidates to suit our purpose. So once you are satisfied with your recruiting efforts, meet me at the airship ticket counter, and we might prepare for the next leg of our journey. Oh no, this is gonna be a long one. Upper decks, huh? I'm in the lower decks. Me up here. Let's see. How close are we to some of these people? We'll hit these ones, and then we'll take a thing over here to get these ones. Melicoco. Melcoco. Hi. Huh? Nobody else do you think you are talking to, Drylander? I'm a pirate, not some sodden knight or shining plate. If you looking for a self-righteous fop, try knocking on the dandy Cavalrian door. Okay. Chill. My bad. Okay. Precursor to a united Eorzean Grand Company. While I do admire the score of your ambitions, my responsibilities here are Nalquin and Velms. Keep me close to the forge. I have not the time to be trapezing hither and yon across the realm. Should you require my skills as an armorer, however, I might be willing to accept some special commissions. Is there a thing over here? Oh, there isn't a thing over here. Well, if it ain't quietly, I'd not forget a venture brave enough or daft enough to seek the shortcuts into Titan's bedchamber. Ye remember old Royal, don't ye? Formerly the captain of heroes, 3 whistles at Bronze Lake. Aye, it ain't oft to drag me arse out to Limsa for a drink, but I'm glad I did. How fare ye these days? You're looking to put together a crew. Top-tier work? Sounds like a right lark, it does. Alright, lass, count me in. The heroes might have gone their separate ways, but I ain't ready to climb into me grave just yet. Alright, now I'll take the Aetherite over to the thingy. Marauders Guild, I guess, would be the best one. The summoner person. Master Alphino's new organization. Yes, I had heard the formation of his trial company was in the offing. 'Tis with regret, however, I must decline your invitation. As commander of the Yellow Jackets, the protection of Limsa Luminsa must needs receive my full attention. That's fair, to be honest. That's pretty damn fair. Hi. An organization with the freedom to operate in all with territorial impunity. I must say your proposal intrigues me, but the Krakens will know that there is a time to act and the time to watch. And I'm afraid this trial company of yours falls into the later category. Fair enough. Fair enough. Can't fault him for that one. We want to go to airship landing. Quietly, your recruiting went well, I trust. I'm curious as to how my proposal was received by the rough and ready folks of Limsa Luminsa. A member of the legendary company of heroes indicated his interest. Astonishing. I knew enlisting your aid was the right choice. Few could boast the acquaintance of such an elusive character. I, too, was successful in my task. The Admiral consented to signing all of the documents requiring her approval. I would only hope that my visit with the Elder Seeds here proceeds as smoothly. Pray continue on to Gridania at your own pace. I shall await your arrival at Nofika's altar. Oh god, this one is just so long. Nofika's altar. Recruiting the realm. We still have, oh my god, we still have so many things left after this. My audience with the Elder Seer is due to commence momentarily. I would be grateful if you would once more seek the task of recruitment here in Gridania. After you deem the well of potential candidates has run dry, let us rendezvous at the airship ticket counter as before. Okay. At least these are by things. Hi. Oh gods, can it truly be you? By what fickle fortune must the first face I see upon my release be yours? Could it be that you don't remember me? It is I, Laurentis, the man whose crimes you exposed, who is a whaler, a regular patron at Buscaron's. Oh. Who? Laurentis. I was selling maps and supplies to the Gridanians. Oh! I remember him now. Before you and those red-belly poachers mopped the forest floor with my erstwhile employers. Here, now, just how many criminals have you dealt with that my, ignominious tales ignite not the slightest fickle of recognition? The less said of my past, the better, I suppose. And what of you, adventurer? What business brings you to this part of Gridania? Recruiting, eh? And what is your policy on reformed convicts? As the matter stands, the Wood Whalers will have naught more to do with me. This This may just be the second chance I was looking for. Revenants told you, say, I shall leave at once. You shall not regret this, I promise you. I am a changed man. I really hope so, dude. Kinda awkward if you weren't. Where am I? I'm here. Let's go here. Tis not oft a guild officer such as myself gets recruited, and this company of yours certainly sounds to have some promise, but its duties appear less than focused. I must refuse your invitation until such time as your organization is more organized. There. That's fair. That's a good observation. That's a fair observation. We can't fault that one. In the least. Alright, last two. Oh. We still have to go do Ulda after this. Oh, it's him. It's the butler. You would offer this old man a place in your company of champions. I am both puzzled and honored by your invitation. Pray forgive me, young mistress, but I cannot accept. I have sworn to abide here for whatever scant years remain of me, and bear responsibility for the evils my lady has wrought upon this land. That's fine. That guy is the Hawk Manor NPC. He was a butler, and when all the Hawk Manor stuff started going down because his mistress was like trying to get eternal youth or something. But grandfather, we must call it a day. Let us return to the guild and rest ere your tormented back gives up on you for good. I'm terribly sorry, but we were just... Oh, quietly, isn't it? It has been some time since our path crossed outside of Copperbell Mines. Why, you were barely more than a novice adventurer then, but look how far you've come. Mother Mione tells me 'twas you who felled the fearsome Black Wolf. And now you seek stout-hearted souls to fill the ranks of the new order. Well, your cause is undoubtedly just, and my old companion here would have much relieved to see me in good hands. Yes, I'll do it. This is the very thing I've spent my entire adventuring career working towards. I shall join your company just as soon as I've seen Ildrar safely home. What news, quietly? For my part, the Elder Seatsier was most amendable to our requirements. A former wood whaler and a seasoned adventurer, our company will not lack for variety, that much is certain. An interesting harvest indeed. Shall we strike into Ulda whilst the iron is hot? Let us meet at the Royal Promenade and endeavor to conclude our remaining business. Our journey draws to a close. Ulda, the gilded city, where one's fortune defines one's worth. I hope some manner of fortune is with us, and that this fine lake proposes such as successful as the previous two. Might I suggest descending to the lower levels before beginning your recruitment? I do not think the Sultana will take kindly to us poaching from her personal guard. Let us meet back here at the promenade when our respective tasks are completed. Good hunting, quietly. What map do I need to go to? Let's go to, I guess we'll go to the Sapphire Exchange first, and then we'll go to the other ones. A company that looks to cure the ills of the realm entirely. Listen, friend, I can scarce bear the complaints of the next stall over, let alone the conundrums of the neighboring nation. Fair. Hello? Aye, you'd be surprised what rumors drift down to Pearl Lane. I know of this glorious new company of yours, and just how far I'd go to avoid getting involved with it. The whispers on the street say your organization is funded by corrupt coin, by syndicate money. If you think you're recruiting for a just cause, then you're a bigger fool than I took you for. Irony. I'm sorry, you wish to recruit me. Is this some new-fashioned manner of propositioning a lady? Well, I'm afraid you are wasting your time. This lady is already spoken for. Good day to you, miss. Fair enough. Fair enough. We can't blame her there, right? Sweet. Orance. Oh, this is the girl we saved at the beginning, right? Oh, what happy coincidence. Did you remember me perchance? I'm a Orance of the Church of Saint Amata Lamada. Thank you again for your timely rescue, and I must also thank you for preventing the fraudulent priest from preying on dry bones less fortunate. A most upsetting business. Are you here with your companion, Thinkred, wasn't it? Nah. 'Tis new companions you seek, then. Your proposed organization sounds a powerful force for good, but my place is at the church with the children. Nevertheless, I wish you well in this undertaking. Gladiators. Wait, you're the lady who came to Little Alamigo looking for that masked devil. Who knows what might have happened if you hadn't? I'd probably be dead, and the whole lot more of my friends besides. We were such fools. Any road, that disaster really got me thinking about our homeland and about the outsiders who saved us from ourselves. I realized how easily I'd been manipulated and vowed to make of myself a more worldly man. So here I am, a new company of champions, and you say it will take me to all corners of the realm. That sounds exactly like the kind of opportunity I need, and don't worry, I'm not the same stripling you met in Little Alamigo. I've prepared myself to fight the evil I know is out there. Are there more? No. Promenade. We got to go to the promenade. How fared you, quietly? What hidden gems did the straits of Ul'dah offer up to you, to your unrelenting gaze? A single Alamigan youth. Well, you've certainly given us an admirable start, even if our ranks are yet somewhat thin. In these troubled years following the calamity, talks of Eorzea's salvation must seem akin to grasping at clouds. But there are those who have risen to the challenge nonetheless, and I hope that inspires these people. These people was born in no small part from the victories you yourself have won. Thank you quietly. I will not squander the precious gift you have placed into my keeping. These recruits will become the foundation of a new beginning. And yes, we are free to begin. As you have no doubt surmised, the Sultanate also graced my trial company with her blessing. Our first wave of recruitments is over. The documents signed, the finances secure. There is naught to prevent me from taking the next step. You are concerned by the syndicate's involvement, as was I. Thus was the origin of every coin of their contribution carefully scrutinized and recorded. This organization will not be built on corruption. Naturally, I would prefer not to rely upon outside sources at all, but even my family's substantial coffers could not sustain a venture of this magnitude. And as for the rumors and doubts surrounding this enterprise, well, such things shall plague us until the company has had a chance to prove its worth. It will not be an easy process, but we will earn people's trust one success at a time. Speaking of time, we shall waste no more of it. Let us return to the Rising Stones and lay the first stones for a united Eorzea. Ooh.
Tell me, General, what think you of Alfino's bold endeavor?
I think it is more than bold, Your Grace. His organization would pave the way for a united Eorzea. Well do I understand his impatience, since facing the common threat of the Ultima weapon, our nations have seemed farther apart, not closer together. Considering the many problems we face, should we not be glad that someone else is taking the initiative?
We have all pledged our cooperation, yet the grumbling continues behind closed doors. Ul'dah is not alone in her duplicity. I myself have doubts as to the good this organization will achieve. With the inclusion of the finest soldiers of the 3 grand companies, it promises to be a fearsome military body. But whom will it serve? Even under the watchful gaze of the Scions, it is not unthinkable that such a force could perpetrate a great wrong. Does it not concern you that a significant proportion of its financial backing came from the coffers of the Syndicate? That those unprincipled worms might forge this extraordinary gathering of warriors into a private army?
I have trust in the Scions, Your Grace. They have spared us no end of trouble at the hands of the Primals. If they seek reinforcements, I deem it unwise to deny them. As for their finances, full many gave generously. And though our nobles proffered a sizable sum, their coin did not spill from the pockets of Lolorito and his cronies. And what of the presence of our stalwart adventurer friend in this endeavor? I doubt the Warrior of Light would betray our cause.
Yes, there is that, I suppose. Yet I have known people to change. Whether we will or no, the events of the age hurl us this way and that, like a dust devil skipping across the sands. Cannot be done about Telechi?
I have explored all avenues available to us, Your Grace. But as Ul'Dan law now stands, we lack the evidence to convict him of any crime. To arrest him on spurious grounds would only play into his hands.
He has all but committed treason, and yet we can do nothing? Then what good our government? What worth the royal house? How deplorable this mockery of justice!
Have faith, Your Grace. It is not over.
So sad. This is not a journey I soon wish to repeat, but I cannot pause to rest. The accumulation of all our efforts is at hand. I must see to the preparations for the inaugural ceremony. Thank you for allowing me to monopolize your services quietly. I am certain the antecedent will be relieved to see you free of other duties. Heretical harassment. There's 3 quests left in this thing. Greetings quietly. Alphino tells me all is in place to begin his trial company. The Scions shall certainly be grateful to have the support of such an organization. The inaugural ceremony is set to take place here at the Rising Stones. Tataru is cooperating with Alphino to see that all is in readiness, as I'm afraid the recruits themselves have been left to their own devices for the time being. Quite a number of new faces have arrived in Revenant's Toll of late, and I wonder if Slaffborn might not find himself overwhelmed. Would you speak to him and see if there is aught he requires? Sure, I like Slaffborn. He's a cool guy. Go take a peek. He's like a big teddy bear. Like the Revenant Toll godfather. No, he's like the Revenant's Toll, like, big brother. What can I do for you quietly? I thought you'd have your hands full helping out with this new arm of the Scion. I barely noticed your recruits arrive. 'Twas barely a trickle compared to the flood of treasure hunters we have passed through here every day. Well, I appreciate your offer to aid. 'Tis more your burden that concerns me. I'm told this trial company will answer directly to the antecedent. So I trust that means less work for you in the long term, on the long run. Slaffborn, the shipment, we couldn't. Gods, woman, what befell? We were bringing the shipment to Revenant's Toll, provisions earmarked for the frontier effort, but just as we sought to cross over into Mordana, we were set upon by brigades. I believe they may have been heretics. There were many, too many. We only escaped with our lives by abandoning the supplies. Pray forgive us. There is aught to forgive. Provisions can be replaced, but smart soldiers are hard to find. Take your rest, and I'll have someone along to tend to those wounds. Oh, what to do? If heretics are involved, then this is like to be more than a case of simple thievery. Ishgard will need to be informed. Whence did these supplies originate? House for Temps. We collected the provisions from Camp Dragonhead proper. Understood. I shall see that they are appraised of this development. Quietly, were you not on good terms with the Knights of House Fortemps? I will be sending them a missive immediately, of course, but I would also have you travel there and offer your considerable talents. Yes, I realize I contradicted my earlier hopes to lighten your load, but I need someone who can help bring this incident to a satisfactory conclusion. Our favorable relations with Ishgard are far too important to risk half measures. Thank you for your understanding. I am certain Lord Hotchefant will be glad of your assistance. Hotchefant! Well, if it isn't my fine friend quietly gaming. Would you care for a plate of roast carcaclue? Some mulled wine? No? I see you have not come into my hall merely to escape the biting cold. I was, in fact, on the verge of opening an urgent missive from Revenant's Toll, and I suspect the timing of your arrival is no coincidence. Ooh. What are these? Head pieces? Try on. I don't think I would wear any of these. Oh.
The incident with you frontier hands? No, you need not elaborate. I have been following their progress with no small amount of interest. Brave men and women all. They do our nation a great service. The existence of a fortified outpost in Mordona will do much to dissuade the Empire from trespassing on Kurth's soil. Right glad am I that you have chosen to lend your support to this endeavor. Never let it be said that House Fortom does not acknowledge the efforts of her allies, or her debts. 'Twas in the spirit of gratitude that I arranged for sundry supplies to be delivered to Revenant's Toll. That the shipment should chance to be waylaid by heretics is poor fortune indeed. Poor fortune, I say. Yet not without precedent. If you would know the truth of it, these incorrigible villains grow more organized with each passing day. This new unity of purpose we attribute to their leader, the Lady Iceheart. But though I have devoted significant resources to the task of identifying this woman, we have yet to learn so much as her birth name. What we do know is that the heretics speak of Iceheart in reverent tones, and would gladly embrace death rather than betray her. Such loyalty is rare indeed, and I fear to imagine what so committed a collective might achieve. The brigands have not yet been so brazen as to risk direct confrontation here in Dragonhead. Some few of their number have, however, been sighted not far to the west of here, and with ever-increasing regularity. A visit to Whitebrim Front may bring you the answers you seek. Will you brave the snows, knowing what implacable foes may lie in wait? Halone's blessings be upon you! Though I take no pride in the admission, many of mine own countrymen are not so well suited as you adventurers to dealing with such foes. Were they dragons, it might be otherwise. But truly, I could not wish for a finer ally. You have done much for my house in the past, and I have no doubt but that I shall have cause to celebrate your deeds again ere long. Should you learn aught of value, pray return to me forthwith. A warm hearth and a warmer welcome shall be waiting for you.
I like this guy. I like this guy a lot. He's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. And I appreciate him. Realmont, quietly, is there aught you would ask of me? Pray speak plainly. I am a man of action and need no honeyed words. On the trail of a band of thieving heretics, you say, by the Fury, but you do seem destined to cross paths with those villains. I must confess, then, 'tis a sad truth that the wilds thereabouts have indeed grown thick with their number. They strike swiftly without warning and are canny enough to evade our most able trackers. But 'tis not merely their new-founded organization that confounds us. The heretics themselves seem somehow changed. I know not what manner of influence this Iceheart wields, but the men they face seems utterly lost in the grip of righteous fervor. 'Tis an unsettling and unnatural zeal. Mayhaps you would care to question one of their recent victims. As fate would have it, your arrival came moments after a traitor was waylaid on the road. A patron found the unfortunate fellow lying senseless in the snow and carried him to our infirmary. Assuming he has regained the use of his faculties, and the merchant might recall some small detail that could aid you in your task. Nice. We like that. Okay. Is he? He's in the infirmary. I think that's the second floor, I believe. If I'm remembering correctly. Hello? You are not who I'm seeking. Nope. Hi. Mistreated merchant. Tell you what happened. Why, yes, of course. I am quite recovered enough for that. Although, to help catch those cowardly Blackhearts, I was traveling my usual route to Whiteburn Front when a sudden blow sent me reeling. The next thing I knew, I was on the ground and several heretics were rifling through my cargo. Arms, armor, crystals, they were taking everything. 'Twas then that one of them noticed my blurry gaze and stalked over to better acquaint my head with his mace. Before darkness claimed me, however, I distinctly heard the words, "Return to Snowcloak." I dare say that is where you were, where they were hauling my goods, but you'll not catch me rushing off in pursuit. They tell me 'twas a miracle I survived it all, and I'll not trust my thick skull to save me a second time. Okay. Speak to the... search the wilds of Snowcloak and defeat the heretics you encounter. Ugh. Such a cool, like, atmospheric place. Can I talk to you, please? Thank you. Draw your weapons, fool. Wait, I recognize you, adventurer. You come seeking heretics. Then we share a common purpose. We were on patrol when we chanced across one of their raiding parties and pursued them here. By rights, we should have had them cornered in this ravine, and yet they are gone, vanished like ice wraiths. Oh. Mm-hmm. Glimpsed a woman atop the cliff. Could it be that Iceheart herself come to spy on our folly, sneer at our folly? And to where did she disappear? The heretics must have discovered a passage through the frozen wall, some hidden tunnel that escaped our notice. We have not the men to risk further investigation. 'Twould be best were we to return to Whitebrim Front and lay our suspicions before Lord Drillmont. Sure, we can go talk to Drillmont. Look at these guys. Quietly, it appears I owe you my thanks once again. The surviving knights spared no detail in their report. The men you found out near Snowcloak were some of my finest. That they should have been bested so handily, I fear I have woefully underestimated the threat these heretics pose. While I understand you might balk at the notion, I must ask that you put aside your mission and consider the stolen provisions lost to us for now. 'Twould be ill-advised to blunder unprepared into what may well be the very lair of our enemy. Pray, return to Dragonhead and inform Lord Hotchifont of your discoveries. He will wish to plan contingencies of his own. As for Iceheart and her fanatics, the freezing heights of Snowcloak will not shield them from our justice for long. When the cold sets in. We only have one more thingy. We only have one more. I went out the wrong side. Shoot. We only have one more quest of 2.3. And then go into 2.4. And we're getting really close to the end of this thing. Everything's kind of rolling into.
Your return is most timely. Of their own accord, my thoughts had turned to your task and the progress thereof. I confess, my imaginings tended toward the grim and bloody.
The guy's squatting.
But you are here now, and I suspect such frivolous wonderings do little justice to the reality of your travails. Tell me, what did you learn of Iceheart? Indeed. And this transpired at Snowcloak? Of all the highlands, that towering wall has borne the worst of the region's brutal shift in climate. So inhospitable has Snowcloak become that we have still to survey the area in its entirety. Could its frozen heights conceal the heretics' hideaway? Mayhap a more robust reconnaissance effort is in order. Putting such considerations aside for the moment, we still know far too little of this Iceheart. That she is capable of commanding such a band of fanatics bespeaks natural authority, and no small measure of charisma. As much as I would like to fathom this mystery with you, the situation has grown beyond my personal purview. I am bound by duty to inform the Temple Knights and request that they bring this matter to its conclusion. Given the glowing reports the new commander has garnered thus far, I am certain that they can be relied upon to take appropriate action. Though Iceheart's true identity yet eludes us, you have provided us with a point from which to begin. Sometimes it takes but a single stone to prompt an avalanche. On the matter of the stolen provisions, I have already made arrangements for a second shipment to be sent to Revenant's Toll. I could not well allow such an honorable venture to be undermined by one miserable setback.
I like him. Hotchifont is a good guy. He's just like the brother that you always wanted. You know what I mean? And I don't have a brother. I have two younger sisters. Slathborn. Hello, sir. Quietly, 'tis good to see you return to the toll. How fared in the frozen wastes of Corthus? House Fortemps is to send us a second shipment. I must send thanks to Lord Hotchifont for his continued generosity. Yet, even as our town grows more prosperous, I fear it will attract even greater numbers of those who would do us harm in the name of greed or power. all of us, Alphino's new recruits included, must remain vigilant against such threats. True. While you were away in Corthus, preparations for the inaugural ceremonies were all but completed. Although Tatsuru does seem somewhat flustered. I've taken enough of your time. Why don't you head to the Rising Stones and see if your frantic receptionist can do with a hand? Boom, 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 boom. These parchments need to be sorted, and these documents, why are they even here? Oh, I'm sorely tempted to file that lot in my waste paper basket. Quietly, you startled me. You wish to lend me a hand? Splendid. Would you be a dear and hand these uniforms to the new recruits? They're scattered about Revenant's Toll, and I haven't the time to track them all down. The recruits know to don their garb immediately and assemble here in the Rising Stones. You'll want to report directly back to Alphino if you don't wish to miss the ceremony. I wonder if the Scions will ever have matching uniforms. A well-funded organization is a well-dressed organization, I suppose. We have uniforms. Do I get a uniform? You has. Those who believe this company will see no riches are sight-shorted fools. The giving of oneself 'tis an investment in the future. Thus did I sign my name to the cause. That's not really what we wanted this to be for, but okay. These uniforms were a splendid idea. Once our organization has made a name for itself, there shall be wealth aplenty to sell replica costumes to the adoring masses. Okay. Orontis. I thought it best to mimic my fellows here, but I admire that I have no idea what we're supposed to be doing. I admit we have no... our new uniforms. I am reminded of my induction into the Wood Whalers. Oh, there's actually more than I thought there would be. This scarlet garb marks me as a proud member of the Maelstrom and a hardy defender of Limsa Lominsa, yet in truth I stand for the betterment of the realm, and thought this new company a fine opportunity to contribute on a grander scale. Oh, now it's a striking shade of blue. Put alongside my Maelstrom uniform, my wardrobe will certainly not lack for color. Gilbert! Oh. I don't believe we've met. I'm Ilberd, and I will have the honor of leading my fellow recruits as captain. Much did I lose to the calamity, and I look forward to aiding others in rebuilding their lives. The uniforms are a shrewd decision. There is no easier method of creating a common bond among this, essentially, band of strangers. Wilrid. Little Amigo could learn much from Revenant's Toll, that this town can be so alive in the midst of such devastation. I've never worn aught quite so voluminous. Well, I'm sure I'll grow accustomed to the extra cloth in time. There's another one over here somewhere. Ah. Quietly gaming. Gods, I did not expect to meet you strolling about town. The tales of your primal battles were what inspired me to come to Revenant's Toll. 'Tis an honor to receive this uniform from your hand. I shall wear it with pride. Let me up. Ah. Royal. Hello? Hello there, lass. Looking for me, was it? Was he? I'd suggest giving a whistle, but I'm not sure as I'd hear it amongst all the bustle. Oh, proper uniforms and all. This thing'll cut off the blood to me head. Not to worry, though. I'm sure she'll be fine after making a few adjustments. Isildur has at last retired from the adventurer's life. Though I shall miss his wisdom and impressionable spirit, I am excited to forge my own path forward. Ah, the uniform. Thank you. Truth be told, the thought of pledging myself to a lofty organization is somewhat intimidating. Boo, 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 boo. Yes, quietly. Tataru mentioned you were handing out the uniforms. I assume you've now met the rest of the recruits. So few answered the call to arms I put forth through the established grand companies and such. We are not yet an army, but there is much a small corp of elite warriors can achieve. Did I mention I'd thought of a name for the company? 'Tis my hope that it shall soon be known across the breadth of Eorzea. The moment of truth dawns near quietly. Once the last of the recruits have gathered, I shall make the official announcement.
Comrades, your presence here this day signifies the momentous choice that each of you has made. With your strength now pledged to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are beholden to no single nation. You stand as the vanguard for a united Eorzea. From this moment forth, I declare you crystal braves. Let us mend this fractured realm and face our enemies as one. Whether it be the Beastmen and their primals, or the conflict in Carteneau, it is plain that the nations of Eorzea cannot solve the problems which plague the realm. Thus does it fall to some few heroic souls to succeed where they have failed. Come! Take your place at the Scion's side as guardians of Eorzea, and together we shall fight for the freedom of all! For the freedom of all!
Boop-a-doo-boo.
A rousing speech, Alphino. Or should I say, Crystal Brave Commander Leveilleur?
Please, Antecedent. The title is honorary. I shall not be leading the troops into battle, as it were. We are of the same purpose. Let us join hands and do what must be done to save this land.
The Scions stand ready. I'm eager to see what the Crystal Braves might accomplish. This shall prove an interesting time indeed for the Scions. Yes, I'm listening. So our worst fears are confirmed. The entire Isle. Such power defies comprehension. Truly? Kryl is alive? Thank the 12. I see. Pray, inform me if her condition changes. Yes, I shall pass on your words to Arianger. My thanks. I shall contact you anon.
Kryl!
When I learned of the loss of the Isle of Val, I dared not hope that my friend had survived. Yet, by some miracle, it would seem she has. She's still to regain consciousness, it is true, but better that than death. Putting this happy news to one side, we must now endeavor to make sense of the readings taken by the survey party. It appears the etheric disturbance which accompanied the Isle's destruction is of a magnitude alarmingly close to that of Ultima. Could the Ascians be responsible for this devastation as well? I wonder, have you heard aught from the Mother Crystal since the battle with the Garleans? Then she speaks to neither one of us. Heidel's silence portends naught but ill, I fear. Louisoix, I pray you yet watch over us.
What a font? Very good. See that the provisions are prepared for transport. Let us hope that this shipment has spared the fate of the last. The winds are uncommonly fierce this day. Oh, shoot. Damn, I didn't realize that it showed this so early on. I forgot. Ooh. Booby. La Habrea and Elidibus. Well, guys, that's the end of 2.3, so I'm gonna end this playthrough here. We will do 2.4 next, which is almost towards the end. We'll have 2.4, 2.5, and then 2.55, and then we'll get into Heaven's Ward, which I'm really excited about replaying. I remember loving the Heaven's Ward story. So yeah, that's what's gonna happen. If you're enjoying the playthrough and following the playthrough, please feel free to drop a sub and a like to the videos. I'm playing through all of them as Q. I'm playing through the job stories and stuff like that. And then if you're super interested, you can swing by my other YouTube to see all of the more structured content that I'm going to be doing, more scripted stuff like story, summaries, reviews, maybe some lore stuff, some Guild Wars 2 things as well, because I also play Guild Wars 2. But yeah, so go ahead and go check that out as well. The link will be in the description below, and other than that, I will see you next time. Goodbye!